afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, June 18th, 2022, little after 3 p.m. Eastern. When ego is lost, limit is lost. You become infinite, kind, and beautiful. Yogi Bhajan. We all have a bad day once in a while. Yet when bad days turn into bad weeks, depressing months, and unhappy years, we truly need to make a change. We, all of us, are here to enjoy this life, not to be tortured by it. This universe is a totally magnificent playground of energy, a conscious celebration blossoming with life in all directions. If and when we can see this, we can enjoy it. When we lose perspective, we sever our natural connection with this great joy. Don't fret, not all is lost. We are just taking the longer route to rediscovering the divine beings we truly are. The first step to shifting out of a negative mood is to recognize, realize, and honor the fact that you are one creating and perpetuating this bad mood. You are the one. You may believe something outside of you is responsible for your unhappiness. Yet ultimately, it all comes down to how you are responding. Are you seeing it as your teacher or your enemy? Happiness is always about the lens we are looking through. Truly enjoying this life is about taking radical responsibility for the state you're in, exploring what this negative experience is teaching spiritually you, and then finding out the fastest way to let it go. Once you can say, I am the one creating this negative experience of my life, then half of the great battle is over. The second step towards freedom is learning how to step back from whatever you're resisting, fighting, judging, or hating, and see that actually it is just a bunch of thoughts. Your problems ultimately boil down to ideas that are ultimately passing through the synapses of your brain. Whatever wrong thing you think is happening out there is always happening primarily inside your mind, in here. The more resistance, judgment, and anger you've built up around this particular idea out there, the greater the joy you'll feel when you shift your relationship with it inside yourself and move on. The moment you learn how to let go of being right about how horrible something or someone is, you discover how good it feels to be wrong. I find that life always provides the perfect climax at the end. Third step towards releasing your negative mood is returning to the source of who and what you spiritually are. Truly, who and what are you? Are you your name, what others think of you? Or just this physical body filled with meat, blood, and emotional bones? Perhaps there is a deeper spiritual aliveness that is real inside you. If you believe that you are your thoughts, then ask yourself who and what is watching and listening to them go by. The watcher is the real you. You are not any of these thoughts. You just became too close to your thoughts and got overly identified with them. The very moment we return to who and what we are, this pure conscious witness who abides at the very source of thought, then we are home free. The final step is truly, deeply, and relaxing fully into your body so that there is no tension hiding inside you anywhere. When we can fully relax inside, we become deeply aware beings again. It's easy to see how insignificant and fleeting thoughts actually are. Like a dragonfly cruising past you, one moment it's right here, buzzing in your face, and in the breath, gone. When your body is relaxed, we can see how fleeting each thought is and how easy it is to completely change them. The more we can feel into the spiritual truth of who and what we are, we naturally pull back our attention to our real selves. It just feels good, so we naturally do it. Our spiritual nature takes care of us, and we can effortlessly enjoy life, which means we have stopped dwelling on the negatives. Our bad mood turns around, and we see the beauty in everything. We are grateful for life again, even for the opportunity to shift out of this negative space. We appreciate, love, and enjoy this simple experience of being alive. We understand that if we cannot see God in all things and everything, then we can't see God at all. Our entire lives are created from our emotional state. This is the powerful energy that creates our reality. Everything that shows up in our outer world is a direct match with our emotional belief systems. Melanie, Tonya, Evans. Everything we do is manifesting. There isn't anything that we don't manifest. We are manifesting machines. We always have been, always will be. In the world of manifesting, E, motion, stands for energy and motion. Your feelings are the energetic super fuel which every physical manifestation in your life was created. Every person, situation, and thing that you wanted or didn't want to manifest into your life happened because there was a strong positive or negative feeling behind some thought that you had. Nothing is coincidence or by chance in this world. We are vibrational beings molding our world based on the ideas and emotions we unconsciously entertain. By being more open and sensitive to our feelings, we will naturally discover the very source of all feelings, where we can truly master our emotions and effortlessly attract our greatest dreams. We need feelings to manifest our dreams. What would be the point of winning the lotto jackpot if you didn't feel elated? Emotions are what make life a rich and juicy ride. Without them, we might as well be a sand bug buried in the Sahara Desert. Our feelings are what allow us to tap into the divine experiences within our souls, as well as the small, limited, humble sensations that make us human. Without tapping into our emotional nature, we cannot connect with love, be loved by, and have compassion for people around us. Without tapping into our emotional nature, we cannot connect with love, be loved by, and have compassion for people around us. So if we want to live a rich, full life, it is time for us to remove all of our judgments and fears about our feelings and let go of whatever beliefs that have been restricting us from being wildly alive. People who are deeply in touch with their feelings hold a special gift for creating amazing relationships, as well as the greatest secret to remaining aligned with their highest manifesting vibrations. These beings have the ability to truly dive into any feeling, welcome it completely, and then let that feeling grow and surge within their body. By dwelling on the feeling of what it's like to have already manifested your desired outcome, you are communicating a request to the universe, stating that you actually want this experience to manifest. And sure, you can visualize your dream car is going to magically materialize until you are blue in the face. Yet, you have little chance in manifesting it with effortless ease until you can feel yourself sitting in that car with your hands gripping the wheel, cruising down the road while blasting your favorite song with the breeze blowing through your hair. Let's take this emotional journey to a more personal level. Imagine that your physical body is the car you'll be driving throughout your life. One of its jobs is to deliver you safely and joyously to each destination that you desire. The feelings that you create about where you are headed in your life are fueling this manifesting vehicle, given it the juice to move you forward. Without your feelings, all you'd have is a parked car stuck in the garage gathering dust. If you'd want to drive your car to the land of nirvana in the highest possible gear and speed, you simply do one thing. Open yourself up to being a more alive, sensitive, emotional being. From this space, you can access the most powerful experience in the universe of feeling loved, grateful, excited, centered, peaceful, and confident about who you truly are. So you may be wondering, how can a person be in tune with all their feelings that arise throughout the day while still remaining focused on the joy, gratitude, and excitement of manifesting their dream? The secret here is to allow yourself to feel each feeling you have in the moment so fully, deeply, and completely that you can truly digest it and let it go. The more intimate we can become with our emotional bodies, the easier it is to process through any challenging experience that bubbles up. The main reason why emotions have become such a challenge for people is that they were trained not to deal with them. As a member of this modern society, we were most likely conditioned to remain up in the control tower of the head and suppress our feelings below. We may feel uncomfortable with any public display of emotion and think we should always remain poised and in control from the time we were young. We may have internalized messages from our parents, such as stop crying or stop being angry. Over time, we may have learned to automatically stifle our feelings and become like a robot that does the right thing and is impervious to any wild feeling that comes our way. As a child, you were like a great genie who could manifest any experience you wanted. With the awesome power of imagination, you were totally free to invent whatever experience you desired. If you decided to imagine having a tea party with the King and the Queen of England, you were truly there in your mind and perhaps had personal conversations with them. Your imagination was your entire world for many years. Then, as you grew larger, tested your boundaries, your behavior may not have been agreeable with society's standards, so you were shoved into an emotional bottle. Through years of being contained by parents' limiting beliefs and tight social standards, your true magical powers were bound under double-plated glass. This way, you would be accepted by the crowd, become like the rest of the flock, and never engage in the experience of being wild, free, and the complete master of your world. The secret to freeing yourself, any of us, from any childhood prison that any of us still might be trapped in today, is in befriending your emotions. This means you are giving yourself total permission to feel anything and everything that shows up, especially from your childhood. The greatest paradox about this secret is that if and when you can allow yourself to feel an outrageous sense of failure, then you can also access the feelings of unstoppable success. Once you feel one side of the spectrum and relax into it, the emotional pendulum will naturally swing to the other end on its own accord. It may feel scary to let yourself feel things that are dark, depressing, angry, or sad inside you. Yet when you're free to experience these heavier emotions, you also liberate yourself to engage in the lighter feelings such as total joy, outrageous bliss, and absolute freedom. The greatest truth of all is that you cannot completely control your feelings, nor would you want to. If you try to keep certain emotions buried underground, they will eventually find their way out to be expressed. That's why people who repress years of guilt, self-blame, and anger end up contracting diseases like cancer. The body has to release these energies in some way. If they are not going to be expressed emotionally, make the commitment now to letting yourself be an emotional human being. Give your body permission to feel whatever it's feeling, and you'll soon discover there is a whole new world that exists inside you. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing, very first thing, always, relax the body that you're in. And I think that all of us have come to the conclusion, understanding that we're not the body. We're not the character, the name, the personality. We are not our status in life. We are the God within the body. And that's what this civilization has yet to discover on a large scale. This eliminates separation. It eliminates many things that we are constrained with. We have many different illusions, all of us. And the biggest illusion played on all of us in this civilization is separation. So when you begin to decide, choose your own way to go within, first it might be a little scary because it's an unknown, isn't it? And we know that all the possibilities exist in the unknown. So we begin the journey within. And we stay within. And we keep our bodies relaxed. And we come from a place within these bodies of complete peace, joy, and bliss. All of us, we all do this, right? We all go outside and we seek happiness. That's what we do. We seek happiness. We seek bliss. We seek joy. Now, we find it in different things, but it doesn't last. You ever notice that? It doesn't last long. It is, we do, but then it's gone, fleeting. But when we go within and we discover that all along, the God that we are in the body is the joy, is the bliss, is the peace, is the contentment. And you focus on your breath. You listen to your breath. And you just easy, slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth. And when we do this, we move out there. We leave the material physical world. It's not like it's gone. We just aren't really engaged in it. We're not in it. Let's put it that way. I mean, we can participate in certain things and look at it, but we're not in it. And we go within and we discover, through the breath, the now. Moment to moment, focused on the breath, in the heart mind. And you get used to knowing, and I guarantee it's automatic. It becomes automatic, not at first. But you'll know when you're in your heart and not the head. You'll know it. You'll feel it. And you'll notice a big difference, a shift on how you are, how you begin to feel. And you're listening to your breath, and you're focused on the now, and you still the ego mind, subconscious mind, which means you leave them alone. And you leave them alone in the now and in the heart mind. The only way to master them is to leave them alone. And you watch them. You don't judge them. You watch them. You see how they operate, what they do. And after a while, you begin to understand their purpose. So they literally help us transition from yesterday and tomorrow, yesterday, tomorrow, to the now. They don't exist in the now. We put out 60,000 thoughts, each of us, plus, every day. We're not consciously aware of many of these thoughts, but we send them to the universe. This is why we, in our lives, we have things that show up out of the clear blue. We say, where did that come from? You manifested it. You sent the thought out to the universe, and the universe responded. Not only that, we have tens of millions and billions of thoughts that fly by like clouds in the sky, nonstop. Now, 99.9% of them aren't ours. They're programs. And when we're practicing and we're being in the now through our breath, none of us are exempt. We float off. You ever float off? Float off in thoughts. And it's not like you do it intentionally. You just float off. The cloud goes by, you grab onto it, and you're somewhere else. And this is when we begin to understand how important it is to practice and be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times, being the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, the eternal love, gratitude. and peace. And practice this at all times. So this way we don't come down on ourselves. We aren't hard on ourselves. We don't ridicule ourselves. We don't judge ourselves. Or even go as far as damaging ourselves. You say, it's not a big deal. I'm off somewhere. I'm going to focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. And every time you focus on your breath, you're in the now. Pretty nifty. It's not complicated. It's just doing it. Now, if someone were to come to you and say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You're not going to be able to answer that. You really aren't. It's like, what's your goal for today? To stay in the now. So today goes by and you spend all of your time concentrating on being in the now. What's your goal today when you wake up in the first thing in the morning? To be in deep gratitude and to stay in the now. Now picture 3 paths. All of us are standing, and all of us are in the center path, right? And each of us can see it. Our vision isn't obstructed. And we notice that these 3 paths, yesterday and tomorrow and now, the now is in the middle. Yesterday is on the left. Tomorrow is on the right. And we look and we see how these have been constructed. We see that the trees have formed golden canopies, branches, leaves, and bark, all shimmering gold. And then we see the path itself as a brilliant emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. Now, we also notice that when we look at yesterday, path, past, it's really been used a lot. And the same with the one on the right, tomorrow, really been used a lot. The one we're all standing in front of, the now, looks almost brand new. And we understand why. It's because the ego mind does everything it can to keep us either in yesterday or tomorrow or yesterday, constantly. Because it is very insecure and it knows that it won't exist in the now. Now, all of us will reminisce. Kind of fun. We all have a great hall. And the great hall is comprised of this. We have the subconscious mind that we inherit when we enter these bodies. So the subconscious mind records everything. Past lives, present lives. And it records everything and everybody and everything around you from the time you enter that baby body forward. Not only that, it stores it, shelves it, boxes it, and it plays it back, say. And so you find yourself doing things that you've already done, and you say to yourself, wait a minute, I've done this before. Yes, you have. Maybe this life or past lives. Because the subconscious mind is playing it back. So these great halls of ours, we'll reminisce, song, driving, or just out of the clear blue, these thoughts come in. Or they come from within. And so we will go into the great hall. We'll open the door, turn on a light, we'll go in there and see, whether you know it or not, whenever you walk into a room, it's so quick, but you look at the ceiling and the walls. So when you walk into your great hall, you immediately look at the ceiling and the walls, but you'll find that it's so vast that you can't see the ceiling and the walls. Nonetheless, we go to the shelves and the drawers, and we get some movies, some pictures, and some books, all about our experiences. And we'll sit in the easy chair, and there's this white square just floating in the air. So we'll watch some of the movies, and we'll read some of the parts of the books, and look at some of the pictures. And we have a good time. And then we use it as a guide too, to remind us that, I remembered I did this way then. It didn't work. Now I'm looking at an avenue of trying it in a different way to see if that works. So we do kind of use the Great Hall at times as a reference for us. And reminiscing's fun. But we don't stay there long. We will put everything back in its proper place, turn off the light, shut the door, and move forward in life. On occasion, we'll revisit. But there's some of us that will go there unconsciously, stay there way too long, end up taking it and bring it into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past, and reliving that past in that future. This is why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, all of us get anxious at times, right? You want to know things, and it bugs you. It's like the ego mind is sitting there prodding you and pushing you, poking you, pushing you forward. Come on. You got to know this. Come on. Find out. Find out about this. And you feel hurried and pressured, right? And frustrated, and a little irritable. So you go to the path on the right tomorrow, the future, and you'll go in there and you'll seek external authority because you want something or someone to tell you what's going to happen for you. Not to you, what's going to happen for you. So there's a lot of external authorities. There's astrologers, card readers, tea leaf readers, palm readers, pendulum readers, clairvoyants, psychics, all kinds of information. So you pick one, and then they tell you what's going to happen for you and what they see in the energies. And, this is going to happen for you in the next 30 days, or 2 weeks, or a week, whatever the time allotment. And you get excited, right? You say, wow, that's great. That'll be just phenomenal. Now, generally speaking, we take it 2 different ways. Some of us will look at it and go, okay. Some people will say that they never have anything good happen to them, so they negate it right away. Okay. But they'll look at it and they'll just kind of leave it, not too enthused, don't know if they believe it or not. And then there's the other that will look at it and just look at it and say, that's wonderful. They have complete trust in themselves and the universe, and they extend it out. They may even add detail to it. And they leave it alone. They don't visit, they just leave it alone because they have such trust in themselves and the universe that it will manifest in the proper time, place, and space. Now the third person, they'll look at it and they'll just go nuts about it, and they'll fixate on it, and they'll embrace it and attach themselves to the outcome of it and have great expectations with it. And they'll put the date on the calendar, they'll wait and count the days, and they start conjuring up the ego mind starts conjuring up all kinds of outcomes, see? Now, they're going to suffer because it's not going to happen for them, see? Because the trust that you have is through the heart-mind and the God that you are inside that body, and the trust you have in the universe, which you are. And the universe is you, you're the universe. So you can wrap your mind around that. It can't comprehend that. So you project it, you send it out. And you know that it will manifest. Period. And your emotions, remember, are energy in motion. So what are we doing? We do what we always do, but we're cognizant of it. We say, well, I'm going to move energy into form. I'm going to create it into reality. And I'm going to experience it. Now, we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, not the bodies, all over the place. We have parts of ourselves that are stone cold asleep. Now, this is interesting. Some people believe that, well, if those gods leave those bodies prematurely, doesn't matter. They're still part of the God that you are. They never really leave. And we're all immortal, spiritual supreme beings, the gods that we are. So the trick is on all of us. It's played on all of us. It's played on all the Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilians, Golden Pyramids, Avians, on and on and on and on. Because their illusion is separation. It's like our illusion is separation. And the interesting thing is that all the galactic wars out there for billions and trillions of years throughout the universe are only because of one thing. Those civilizations believe that they're separate from each other because of the body that they inhabit. You see, this isn't a discovery for us, planet Earth. It's a discovery for everyone, everywhere. Varying degrees of ego, mind, and separation. Varying degrees. Not saying always the same. Some are much more extreme. Others are barely there. And there are some who have mastered that. It's like the ascended masters, right? Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. When they inhabited physical form, and they mastered physical form, they left physical form, are they separate from us? No. They're not. That's why we say every one of us is a Buddha. Discovering, going within and discovering who and what we are within the body. Each and every one of us is a Maitreya, Kuan Yin. These are gods that entered physical form and mastered physical form. What about loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we have inhabited? Where are they? They're part of us, the gods that we are in these bodies. Their souls are our souls are their souls. What about light energy beings? What about fairy sprites, gnomes, elves, dwarves, trolls, trees, elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaids, dolphin, whale, pegasus, unicorn, centaur, minotaur, and many others? The God is in their physical form. See, we judge everything in size. You ever notice that? We judge in size because we look at size as being powerful. So small things are weak and big things are strong. Isn't that how we mostly look at it? And that's totally an illusion. There are some things in existence that are so small you can't even see them with your eyes. Yet the power they hold is that of a universe. There's all these illusions in all our perceptions and how we are taught while in physical form. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, and dark and beneath earth are, okay, so you look at the body and it's, oh, they're separate. But they're not. The gods within them are the same as the gods within us, and we're all one, and all parts of the one are experiencing in many different ways, in many different forms. Numbers are uncountable. So and this is because of the separation of ego mind that most of us are rutted in, is why we are separate, why we come at each other, why we harm each other. Because we're living in the ego mind, not the heart mind. So when you look at this planet, and through the heart mind and the gods that we are in these bodies, we focus on this planet because we believe that it's time to enlighten the planet with the gods that we are in these bodies and to raise the civilization vibration to a much higher frequency. And that doesn't mean that everyone will choose to do that. But enough have, and more are coming, which means that we are in the process of creating a God planet, a paradise, where the lower dark matter, higher matter frequencies, the souls that have been infiltrated with dark matter, the whole structure of the rogue AI, the dishonesty, the manipulation, all of it, it's being vaporized. What is the highest power? Love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking way beyond romantic love. Love is the highest power. It is the highest force. And the interesting thing is that anger is love under pressure. Anger is love under pressure. So we're all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. We're all love. We're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Immediately form a massive white fire, circle of light, around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God source, from the gods within each of these bodies. Pure, deep, eternal love. Flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet, all life, the highest supreme values in the universe, on it, in it, above, and below it. Infinity and beyond. Where does the dark matter have any place to hide? There isn't any. Where does the goop hide? There isn't a place to hide. The light is everywhere. This light is so bright, you take 1 trillion suns, put them all together, and they would pale in comparison to this light. It grays out the darkness of sacred space. Now we begin to ascend above the planet, and we come into full contact with what we call the ocean of glitter. And glitter is everywhere. There's no end to it. And we describe it with what we've experienced on this planet. So we take events that we've experienced on this planet, we take the grand finale fireworks display, a grand finale laser light show display, and a ballroom globe, the mirrored ones that you shine the light on, it floods the room with light. Now we take all of those, we combine them, and they're intensified 1 trillion times, and we combine them into a massive crescendo. And that crescendo is a magnificent burst of multicolored sparkling light. And it stays there. And we look at the reflective points. And we notice these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched. We enter them and discover that all of us, everywhere and nowhere, are teaching and learning from each other, infinity and beyond. Now, if we're caught in the material physical world, inside looking out, we will miss most of it, if not all of it. This is why we spend so many lifetimes trying to rediscover who and what we are. Because we get so wrapped up in the entertainment that we created for ourselves is the material physical world. It's just entertainment. We don't become enrobed in it. We use it to entertain ourselves, and then we stay outside of it. But when you focus on your breath and you're in the now and you're aware, cognitive awareness, and through the heart-mind, you will look at things like you did when you were a kid. And you remember, we did this when we were kids. I wonder what it'd be like to be that. I wonder what it'd be like to be a bicycle. I wonder what it'd be like to be a car or a bird. I wonder what it'd be like to be that cloud or that bird. And as the body grows up, of course, we get contained and we get trained, and we get detained and we get misdirected. And so that wonderment, that curiosity, we still have that, all of us do. So when you look at something, you say, I wonder what it would be like to be a rock, or that rock over there. I wonder what it would be like to be a plant, or a fly, whatever it may be, tree. And when you're focused on your breath and you're in the now, and the body's relaxed, and you focus on whatever it is, a brief moment, you'll know exactly what it's like to be that. How could any of us get bored with these lives on this planet? And the only thing that happens is the distractions. We get distracted. Not a negative thing. We just get distracted, sometimes for lifetimes. Knowing these things is half the way there. We're immediately met with columns of light that we create, the gods that we are in these bodies, to remind us, guide us. So we have Archangel Raphael carries an emerald green flaming healing light. We create this light collectively to remind us all, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the power of healing these bodies. Then we have Archangel Michael carrying a violet, blue, purple flaming light. This is a column of light that we created collectively. to remind the soul, the gods that we are in these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we have the white light, the white firelight. This is a column of light that we created to remind the soul, while in these bodies, the gods that we are protected, head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond. So the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, the souls who have been invaded with too much dark, the pure evil, cannot come near us as long as we sustain and remain in that high vibrational frequency. Nothing can harm us, no demon possession, no attachments, none of that and other things will occur. But only you have the power that if you decide, whether consciously or unconsciously, to lower your vibrational frequency through hatred, anger, greed, revenge, envy, hurriedness, fear, worry, stress, anxiety, you'll create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. Then we have all kinds of things that are possible, demon possession, attachments, all kinds of stuff. Now, you do decide to do this, we have fail-safes in place, obviously. The gods that we are, we put these fail-safes in place. So we're immediately met with the double column of light. First part of the column that we created is the purple transmuting flame. We can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are. No more. Then we have the second part of this column of light, the violet ray. We created this part to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest high, deepest of the deepest, purest of the purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of white fire, golden, pink light that the gods that we are within these bodies created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees and the forests, the soils, the animals, clouds in the sky. Everything. We're everything. Everything is us. Remember, separation is an illusion. So when we're caught in the illusion of separation, we look at that and we look at a beautiful sunset and say, that's absolutely magnificent. Look at that. And we've all seen those through this lifetime many times. And they are, because they're us, the gods that we are in these bodies. So when you look through the heart mind, not the head, but the heart, and you look at a sunset, starry-lit night sky, ocean front, mountain view, that is the God that I am. Should be no guilt in saying that, no uneasiness. If there is at first, don't bother. It's not a big deal. It'll leave. It'll vaporize. And you'll feel at ease every time you make that statement to yourself. That is the God that I am. Now we continue to ascend above the planet. And some of us who are carrying physical form, not all of us carry physical form, decide to step outside that physical form and hover effortlessly above it. And the reason we do this is because we can, and it's really fun. We come into contact with this massive crystalline tower that we, the gods in these bodies, created. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. And in the center of the column, we discover this massive oblong sphere, and this humongous golden white ball of light in the center of the sphere. The golden white ball of light appears to be surrounded by multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This creates a massive, magnificent, super bright, sparkling white cloud mist that's absorbed into our heart minds. And it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. In turn, we discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of this crystalline tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, infinity and beyond. What is the golden ocean? Pure, deep, eternal love. All of us are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. We, the gods within these bodies, created this meditative sphere over 4 years ago. It holds, we're about 150 meditations away from hitting 1,900 meditations. So we're near 1,900. And all of these meditations, every day, once in a while, a couple times a day, 7 days a week, without end, continuously, all growing, intensifying, and strengthening every day. All of us, hundreds of millions of us on and off world, focused on this planet. And it's complete liberation from lower dark matter to vital matter frequencies. This sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And again, it intensifies, grows, and expands. Flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, infinity and beyond. Now you watch what goes on through your heart minds, and what we're doing as gods with this planet and this civilization. And you see in the atmosphere that we created, the gods that we are, this golden white pink shimmering atmosphere. And we see all of this, the blackest of the blackest black goop, rogue AI goop, pure evil, souls that have been invaded with too much dark. And they're all leaving the planet. And you see it as it's in this golden white pink light atmosphere. It's like a spark or a flash, and they're disintegrating. They're being eliminated from the planet by the gods that we are in these bodies. And we created a kind of a sky formation of a super bright white, golden pink, lighted ceiling or sky. And if any of this dark matter survives through the atmosphere in small form, and it hits the sky, there's one big flash, and it is all vaporized permanently, never to return. So you view that, you see it, and what is the power that is eliminating those lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies? What is it? Love. That's the power. And you can watch it anytime you want because it's ongoing. And it's extremely progressive. When meditating, if you experience an increasing feeling of lightness, go with it. Weave it into your body and ground it into your chakras. It is best to stay centered and integrate your experiences than to get lost in the thoughts they produce. The greatest meditators blend heaven and earth at all times, the God within your body, heaven, and the body itself, earth, at all times, with a deep knowingness that they are a disconnected, infinite source of goodness. Try it sometime. Meditate today for 60 minutes, staying with the thought, letting everything be exactly as it should be. And after you're done, soak in this feeling, idea, and experience for the rest of your day. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose and an easy, slow breath out of the mouth. And be still. Do not let the mind get attached to what meditating should feel like, look like, or be like. Let go of all shoulds and simply be here now. This day is as it should be, just as your thoughts and feelings are as they should be right now. However, the more you can accept what's happening to you right now, the better your experience of this moment will be. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and following morning. And we will return here Sunday, June 19th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.